Good morning, it is Jane with Scraptastic and I have a couple of finished items. A lot of things that didn't get finished. First though, I was trying to use up the rest of my Knit Crate points. I still have some to use up before I totally cancel with Knit Crate. But they're having this great moving sale, or they did, and I wanted some more of the beautiful Knitologic Happy Little Sock in that Every Tree Needs a Friend colorway. So I decided to grab a couple more of that. Grab one of those, and then I also, because I have something I want to use this with, the Knitology Happy Little Sock in that P.O.Box color, because I have a beautiful multicolored yarn that this will go well with. So, yeah, I purchased those. But, yeah. Okay. With Prayer Shawl, we have something that we call our items that are Joseph's mini color items, our little Joseph bags. And what we did is we took these Walmart bags and we just grabbed a ball, put several balls into it, and you were to take it and make something, and when you bring it back, you get a prize. Well, I didn't get mine in time this month, but I did get it in time for next month. And I had some rather interesting yarns. And so I made my lovely little Joseph sweater. It's scarf. It is a very thick scarf. It is 2 strands held together, and it is bulky. And I knit it. I just did a garter stitch, knit it all the way. Had fun using it up, basically, to get it out. That kind of thing. Okay, where was I? Finished scarves. We had several donations of this. It's called Swerve. It makes these little crazy scarves where when you get the skein, if you'll take the 2 ends, hold them together, and just unwind the entire skein, and then when you get to the middle, you start crocheting or knitting or whatever you want to call it, fingers. Started there, ended here, and you just tie it off. And I just haven't cut those yet, so I've got this one. This pretty blue with the greens. And one more that is the darker blues with the green hues. So, got those. Normally we would have just sent them on, but I was like, why not? Let's just make it. The other thing that we get a lot of times, and lots of times we just cannot use it, is the ribbon yarn, or the sachet is the one that has the fishnet and the little ribbon on the bottom, I believe. This is, I believe, Boutique, Red Heart Boutique. And one of the things that the nursing homes have asked us for are for fidget mats. So, crocheted those 3 skeins together. Here's the good thing about the fidget mats. You can leave your tails in. Gives them something to play with. Had a little bit of that sachet there and crocheted that in. And I used my purple clover hook to crochet these. And then we had some reds and a little bit of the black gold whatnot. Made another mat with that. So those are finished items. Now, Nan's next knots. My number 5 color was the liquid teal. So again, liquid teal is put in there. Really enjoyed that. And then, of course, we come to Judy of Witch Pete's Crafts. Make-along, birthstone make-along. So, color was sapphire. And so I just used a navy and the pale blue, or it's called pale blue with I Love This Yarn, but it's not really pale blue. And then a navy with the Premier Basic that I had. So that is that one for now. Now this one I had really hoped to have it completed. But I'll tell you what I did. And I did have it completed. And when it was completed, it measured 50 by 54 inches. And the reason I tell you that is I had the honor of meeting someone who is local to me this past Friday. And she had made a comment. Hi. She had made a comment about the Afghans always look so large. Well, and it's the camera, because you can move the lens closer, further away, and I don't always have it set on further away. Like today I have it set at 15 feet, so you're a little further away, but it's still going to look a little larger than normal. But when I had done this, I initially was not paying attention to what I was doing. I was initially doing a ribbing on it, around it, and I did use one skein of each for the main body of this, and it is done in the sedge stitch. So it is actually going to finish this way, 50 inches, and then this way, 54. What I had initially done, instead of doing front post, back post loop, back post double crochet all around the edge, I did a front post double crochet, and then I just crocheted in the next stitch, and it was curling. And I was like, what's going on? Well, I got it all the way finished to where the last 2 rows were the navy, and I realized what I had done. So I ripped it all out, and I'm doing 2 rows of each color, 2 rows in the red, 2 rows in the white, and then there will be 2 rows in the blue, and it will be a finished object next week. Don't you hate that? So, yeah, I was working real hard to get it finished. And it was finished, and last night I looked at it and I'm like, why is it curling? It shouldn't be curling. Not if I'm doing a ribbing that is front post, back post, double crochet around. What's going on? Yeah, we have those kind of moments around here sometimes. Had it right here the entire time. Sorry about moving you. Hope you didn't get too seasick. Are you ready for a little WIT intonation? Most of these stories, with the exception of the last one, deals with animals. And I almost put in there the one story about Michael Jordan's used underwear being auctioned off. Starting bid was $500. Apparently he gave some clothing to one of his bodyguards. I'm just going to tell you about it. And he decided to put it up for auction to make some money off of it. Well, I was teasing my husband about, well, When you were in the band and you and Michael Jordan were going around, why didn't you grab some of his underwear then? We could have made some money. So cute. Because it has, apparently it says it has obviously been used. I don't know if that means there's skid marks or what, but anyway, the latest that I saw this morning was it was up to $1,299 for that pair of underwear at one of the sports auction places. I'm like, really, people? You gonna pay that much for somebody's used underwear? They're tattered and torn and stained? Whatever. Okay. Southern right whale gives paddleboarder a push in Argentina. A drone photographer in Argentina captured video of the moment a southern right whale swam up to the paddleboarder and gave the board a push. Photographer Maxie Jonas posted a video to Twitter showing the southern right whale curiously approaching a woman paddleboarding in Puerto Madryn. The whale gives the paddleboard a push with its fin before tracking the board's movements while swimming directly under it. The Puerto Madryn whale watching season starts in May and runs through December. Marcus Grosso, the city's tourism secretary, said more than 1,600 southern right whales have been spotted near the Puerto Madryn shore so far this year. And it was almost like the whale was playing with her. It was cute. And I think I would have been a little scared when it went under the boat, afraid that it might come up and topside her, but didn't. Owner surrenders pet cougar kept in New York City apartment. Animal welfare authorities in New York said a cougar is on its way to Arkansas after being surrendered by an owner who was keeping the 80-pound animal in a Bronx, New York apartment. I would think the smell of the kitty would have put off neighbors, but apparently not so. The Humane Society of the United States, the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation, the New York Police Department, and the Bronx Zoo worked together to rescue the animal after the owner contacted authorities to say they could no longer care for the 11-month-old cougar. Investigators said the owner had purchased the cougar as a cub from an out-of-state seller and recently decided to find a new home for the big cat once it started to show signs of aggression. Wildlife, like cougars, are not pets, Department of Environmental Conservation Commissioner Basil Segos said in a news release. While cougars may look cute and cuddly when young, these animals can grow up to be unpredictable and dangerous. The cougar was taken to the Bronx Zoo temporarily and now is being transported to a new home at the Turpentine Creek Wildlife Refuge in Arkansas. The cougar is relatively lucky that her owners recognized a wild cat is not fit to live in an apartment or any domestic environment, said Kelly Donathan, Director of Animal Disaster Response for the Humane Society of the United States. And indeed, they are not. Ida features a couple of the next stories. Hurricane Ida. New Jersey officials, mass zoo escape rumors, unequivocally, that's a hard word to say, is false. Officials in a New Jersey county are reassuring residents that no lions, gorillas, or penguins escaped from a local zoo tour during Tropical Storm Ida. And in New Jersey, it was downgraded to a tropical storm, despite rumors to the contrary on social media. You mean social media isn't 100% true? Photos of an official-looking text message appeared on a social media this week claiming animals, including penguins, lions, bears, otters, gorillas, and reptiles, escaped from the Turtleback Zoo in Essex County when the remnants of Ida swept through the area Wednesday. Essex County Executive Joseph DeVincenzo Jr. released an official statement Thursday on Facebook saying the message is that big word false. I'm not going to try to say it again. Turtleback is an accredited facility that takes the care and welfare of our animals very seriously. In advance of Hurricane Ida, our animal care team secured all the animals indoor, and staff remained on grounds to monitor the situation. There was no loss of power, and all of our animals in our animal areas weathered the storm well and remained safe and secure within the facility. The zoo said in a Facebook post the animals were secured indoor before the storm, and staff remained on site all night to make sure there were no issues. We appreciate everyone's concern about our animals and staff during the storm, the post said. In other words, don't believe everything you read on YouTube or on Facebook or Twitter. It just might be false. You know, kind of like that Rolling Stone story about all those people lined up in Oklahoma and they couldn't get into the emergency room after a shooting. Turns out all those people were waiting for a COVID vaccination. And the media reported on it as a shooting. Yes, they did. All right, next one comes from Louisiana. Dolphin spotted swimming in flooded Louisiana neighborhood. I'm sure that had to be a sight to be seen. A Louisiana family surveying the damage to their neighborhood after Hurricane Ida found a surprising new neighbor swimming in the floodwaters, a dolphin. Amanda Hewling said she first spotted the dolphin swimming in the floodwaters of her Slidell neighborhood Monday. She said the dolphin was still swimming around the neighborhood Tuesday. Hewling said she has been in contact with a rescue group that is planning to attempt to relocate the dolphin if it doesn't find its way out of the flooded neighborhood within the next few days. And there's video. Of course there is. Another Louisiana story. Cow rescued from Louisiana tree after Hurricane Ida. A rescue crew in Louisiana came to the aid of a cow found wedged in a tree above the floodwaters left behind by Hurricane Ida. The St. Bernard Parish government said in a Facebook post that parish employees Tyler Acosta, David Palmer, and Roy Reagan Sr. teamed up with private citizen Louis Palms to rescue a cow found stuck in a tree near the fluorescent highway. The crew used chainsaws to cut branches from the tree and bring the cow back down to the ground level. The fluorescent highway remains closed due to high floodwaters from Hurricane Ida. And there's video of them using the chainsaws. And no cows were injured in this video. There are times you just wish that a home would fall into your lap and you could just snatch it up and go. Mobile home abandoned in the middle of a Texas road. Authorities in Texas are asking the public for help with an unusual mystery after a mobile home was found abandoned on a trailer in the middle of a road. The Kaufman County Sheriff's Office said the trailer loaded with a manufactured house was found abandoned in the roadway of Farm to Market 2578 in Kaufman County on Tuesday. That's going to be an interesting sheriff's auction, don't you think? The sheriff's office said in a Facebook post that the home was loaded onto the trailer, but no tow vehicle was found. The Kaufman County Sheriff's Office needs your help locating the owner and or transport company of this trailer that was left on Farm to Market Road 2578, blocking the roadway. Okay. That's it, folks. Everybody have a great week. I'll see you again next week. And remember, choose kindness.